Welcome to NHL Connections Point Shots, the playoff edition. Today we're going to do a quick review of all the matchups in the first round of the NHL playoffs. We will break down each series, a few key things to note, as well as predictions from a special set of guest panelists here on NHL Connections Point Shots. First off, let's meet our NHL Connections playoff prediction panel. We have Adam Williams. Adam is a writer at NHL Connection and an avid Kings fan. Second, we have Brendan Smith. Brendan is one of the founders of NHL Connection. Third, we have Pete Roca. Pete is an avid fan of the site, as well as a lifelong hockey fan. And last up, we have myself. Considering this is going to be a long one, let's just jump right into it. We'll start with the Eastern Conference. First up, let's take a look at the Washington Capitals versus the New York Rangers. Perhaps the most intriguing storyline here is that once again the Washington Capitals will be going with a new #1 goalie to start the playoffs. This year, Michael Neuwirth will be handed the reins. It should be interesting to see just how long his leash will be. On the injury front, the Washington Capitals will be without steady veteran defenseman Tom Poti as well as newcomer Dennis Wideman. Meanwhile, the Rangers will be without energy forward Ryan Callahan. A key matchup in this series is between two snipers, Alex Ovechkin and Marian Gaborik. The goal scorer who can put the most pucks in the net is going to be the one who pulls their team through to the next round. Let's take a look at our panel's predictions for the series between the Capitals and the Rangers. Both Adam and Brendan have the Capitals winning in 6 games, while both Pete and Taylor have the Capitals knocking off the Rangers in only 5 games. Next up, let's break down the Philadelphia Flyers and the Buffalo Sabres. This series features two teams coming into the playoffs under completely different circumstances. The Flyers backed into the playoffs winning only 1 of their last 6 games, while the Sabres absolutely flew in, going 8-1-1 over their final 10. On the injury front, the Flyers will be without Chris Pronger, although it is speculated he may return later in the series. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Sabres will be without forward Derek Roy. The key matchup in this series may well come down to Sergei Bobrovsky versus Ryan Miller, as the rookie goes head-to-head with the veteran netminder. Let's take a look at our panel's predictions for the Philadelphia Flyers against the Buffalo Sabres. All 3 of Adam, Brendan, and Pete see the Flyers disposing of the Sabres in 6 games, while I see the Flyers struggling to 7-game victories. Next up, we have the Boston Bruins against the Montreal Canadiens. The key storyline in this series revolves around Zdeno Chara. Not only is his hit on Max Pacioretty fresh in the minds of all Canadiens players, but he will also be relied upon by the Bruins to shut down much of Montreal's small forward core. On the injury front, the Bruins will be without Marc Savard, while the Canadiens will be without the aforementioned Pacioretty, defenseman Josh Gorges, as well as defenseman Andrei Markov. Once again, fans will be treated to an outstanding goaltenders battle. If Carey Price can outduel the veteran Tim Thomas, the Montreal Canadiens might just have a chance to advance past the first round. Let's take a quick look at our panelists' predictions for the Bruins-Canadiens series. Adam was the lone panelist to take the Bruins in 7 games, while Brendan, Pete, and Taylor all have Boston triumphing in 6. Now on to the series that has everyone's minds boggled. Pittsburgh Penguins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. With both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin out of the lineup, the biggest question many people are asking is, will the Penguins be able to win without their 2 superstars? As mentioned, the Penguins will be without Crosby and Malkin, while also suffering through the loss of Dustin Jeffrey. Matt Cook, meanwhile, will still be serving his suspension. The Tampa Bay Lightning have no injuries to note. With Pittsburgh's most dangerous offensive weapons on the shelf, will Marc-Andre Fleury be able to fight off Vincent Lecavalier, Simon Gagne, Martin St. Louis, and not to mention Steven Stamkos? Let's see what the panel thinks. As mentioned, this was the series that seemed to have everyone confused. Adam, he was still so confused that he couldn't even pick one winner. Adam has the Lightning winning in 7 as long as Crosby doesn't make an appearance. Meanwhile, he has Pittsburgh winning in 7 if Sid the Kid does return. Other than that, Brendan and Taylor both have the Penguins winning in 7 games, while Pete sees the Lightning winning in 6. On to the Western Conference, starting off with Vancouver and Chicago. With the President's Trophy under their belts, the biggest question coming into this series is whether or not the Canucks will finally be able to defeat the Chicago Blackhawks. The Canucks will be without forward Manny Malhotra and Raffi Torres, who is still serving a suspension, while the Blackhawks will be without Troy Brouwer as well as Dave Bolland, while they are hopeful both will return early in the series. With a number of poor playoff performances in the past, the Sedins will look to show up to this year's big dance. If the Canucks hope to move past the Chicago Blackhawks, both twins will have to produce. Our panel was not very split here, as Adam and Pete had the Canucks in 7, while Brendan also had the Canucks in 6 games. Taylor was the only one who chose the Blackhawks to take the series in 7 games. Now on to San Jose and Los Angeles. With Anze Kopitar and Justin Williams shelved with injuries, will the LA Kings be able to find enough offense in order to overcome the Sharks? The Sharks have no injuries to note, while the Kings will be without Anze Kopitar and Justin Williams, as well as forward Scott Parse. The Sharks boast a high-powered offense led by Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, and Danny Heatley, amongst others. If the Kings hope to slow that attack, Jack Johnson and Willie Mitchell will have to step up their game. Our panel's decisions here seem to be pretty easy, with Adam taking the Sharks in 6, while Brendan, Pete, and Taylor all have the Kings going down in 5 games. Third up in the West are the Detroit Red Wings and the Phoenix Coyotes. With the likes of Nicklas Lidstrom, Brian Rafalski, Todd Bertuzzi, Henrik Zetterberg, and Pavel Datsyuk, the Red Wings are chock full of experience, while on the other side of the coin, the Coyotes are a youthful bunch led by Keith Yandel. Which will prevail? While Nick Kronwall and Henrik Zetterberg have both missed time for the Red Wings, both are expected back in time for the start of the series. The only injury to note between both squads is Chris Osgood. Once again, another series that pits 2 fantastic goaltenders against one another. Who will win this duel, Ilya Bryzgalov or Jimmy Howard? Once again, our panel had an easy time picking the winner of this series, with all 4 panelists picking the Red Wings. Adam and Brendan took the Wings in 7, while Pete and Taylor both took the Wings in 6. Last but not least, we move on to the Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators. With Jonas Hiller seeing limited action in the second half and Ray Emery possibly shelved due to injury, will Dan Ellis be left to protect the Ducks' crease? While Hiller and Emery are questionable for the Ducks, Cal O'Reilly and Matt Lombardi are out for the Predators. Key matchup in this series will be between Corey Perry and Shea Weber, as well as Pekka Rinne. Will the Predators' defense be able to slow the Maurice Richard Trophy winner? Once again, our panel was in agreement with the Ducks advancing to the second round. Adam and Brendan had Anaheim defeating Nashville in 7 games, while Pete had them winning in 6, and Taylor had the Preds lasting only 5 games. One last thing before we go, question of the day. We want to hear your playoff predictions. If you've got any favorites or any dark horses, let us know. Post them down in the comment section below. And this concludes NHL Connections Point Shots Playoff Preview. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Look forward to talking to you again on Friday, and in the meantime, enjoy some playoff hockey starting on Wednesday.